24 pounds, he wants to be eating it. My company is. For carnivore. Oh. There's one tablet thing on that website. We saw this before, right? But it's confidential about the proposals. So let's tell me every of these things. I think so. This is smartphones. Yeah, there they all are. Oh! Ooh! Ooh! We are looking positively humanoid. Yeah, that's the end. We made it, folks. Oh, it's so annoying as well. Look, I mean, how cool would that have been to then take over these hairless, basal, caveman-looking creatures? Perfectly walking around on two legs as well. They're not bendy or anything. He's walking around with a stick. I'm gonna skip, sorry. Well, that is officially the end of Ancestors. I will see.
COVID-19 vaccines have helped protect us. Over time, the antibodies created after that.
Dreams do come true, kids. The Vancouver Canucks have announced today that they have signed Archdeep Baines out of the Red Deer Rebel system in the WHL, and the Vancouver Canucks happen to be Baines' hometown team. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but is this not the very first transaction that the Vancouver Canucks have done under Patrick Alvin? Not talking about the ups and downs between Abbotsford and Vancouver, but like an actual acquisition, a signing, a trade, something like that. Is this not the first thing that Alvin has ever done? The Vancouver Canucks have taken on a guy who is now the second highest or highest WHL point producer at the time. Taking him this, he's tied for first in the entire league in points with 82 games in 55 games played. He's got 30 goals, 52 assists. He is up here with Benjamin King, also of the Red Deer Rebels, who is third in the WHL in point production. And as a guy who is an overager, he's given us a lot to be excited for. Archdeep Baines is a 6'1", 183-pound forward who's a left-handed player and who's 21 years old. Born January 2001, this is his final year of WHL eligibility, and the previous season saw him be a point-per-game player with the same Red Deer Rebels club. Now, this year he absolutely exploded offensively. He was given a bigger role, which is why he has been so successful in the league. He's on pace for 101 points in 68 games played. Now, I get it. He is an overage player, 21 years old. Obviously, players like these are supposed to be in the running of being a top player in the league, but there's still only a good amount of demand for Archdeep over here, and Randy Chang has the scoop. The WHL's top scorer and Surrey BC's Archdeep Baines has generated interest from upwards of 20 NHL teams. As of the past week, he is eligible to sign with NHL teams. So it appears that the Vancouver Canucks have won a bidding war with 19 other teams for a Surrey BC guy who's coming back over and getting ready to suit up either in Abbotsford or in Vancouver in the coming few months. Or few months, I guess he'll finish off his season in the WHL and then come over the year after that, right? We also had ourselves a little scouting report from Rick Dollywall texting with Red Deer GM Brent Sutter on Archdeep Baines. He's a skilled, intelligent player that is very coachable and is very committed to the craft of playing the game the right way. So you hear the entire thing about players being a coach's nightmare. That does not seem to be the case here with Archie Baines. What I also wanted to do was go over onto one more article over here. This is Daily Hive, and it's an article talking about how he became the top WHL point guard earlier on in the season. This is from February 2nd, and Daniel Chai is the writer of this piece. In this article, there are indeed some quotes from the coaching staff as to how Baines is as a player, and I thought this would be interesting to go ahead and take a look at. Rob Evers, former head coach and GM of the BC Hockey Major League League's Valley West Hawks, is proud of his former player's success in the WHL, but he is not surprised by it. Archie is one of the most creative and talented players I've ever had the opportunity of coaching, he said. As a coach, I love working with the power play, and Archdeep is the best power play player I have ever coached in 20 years of coaching. His ability to create something out of nothing and find his teammates in open spots was so good. And you see some of these things when you look at the highlights in the WHL of Archdeep and what he has done with the Red Deer Rebels. He's not afraid to go out there and use his time. He's not afraid to create space for himself and speed to open areas. He's not afraid to dangle by players, and he's got some pretty good hands on him too. Sure, he's 21, so it's not like he's got the steepest development curve ahead of him, but there still is a pretty respectable player profile here for Archdeep, and the Vancouver Canucks now have this guy in their system. So, talking to comments, what do you think about Surrey native Archdeep Baines coming back over to Vancouver?
Welcome back. Alright, so this is the day being closed. I think for Friday, March 11th, so almost halfway through March already. And, about a week ago, somebody made a comment on the channel about how very often, whoever I'm wearing and whoever's going to fight me is injured. And bad things have happened. And who's not injured in the video? That's probably a good thing. If they don't have anything to say that it might be injury-related, there's nothing really going on there. And so, in that vein, the president